want to solve a word problem for you today. And this is about a second or third grade word problem. Dana had 233 points. Zoe had 88 more points than Dana. Chase had 53 fewer points than Zoe. How many points do they have altogether? So parents, I want you to be mindful that we don't teach keywords, because when kids see the word altogether, if they've been taught keywords, they're instantly going to say, oh, I'm supposed to add. And they will take these three numbers and add them. And I promise you that's going to be answer choice A on any standardized test. And that's wrong. So what we do encourage is for kids to draw bar models. They may be called strip diagrams, tape models. It's all the same thing. So let's represent the information that we know. First of all, I'm going to use D. I'm going to abbreviate. D for Dana. Dana has some points. And then it tells us that Zoe had more points. So her bar is going to be longer. So Zoe had more points than Dana. All right. And then it said Chase had fewer points than Zoe. So Chase had fewer. So her bar needs to be shorter than Zoe's. Chase has fewer points than Zoe. And that's what our bars represent right now. Now we're going to go back and plug some information in. Dana had 233 points. Well, that's going to represent what Dana had. That's going to go right here. Zoe had 88 more. And in this comparison model, we know that this part is what is the same, and this part is what is different. What is different is represented by more, less, fewer. Typically, it can be other things too, longer, shorter, faster. But right here is where we see that Zoe had the more. She had more. This is the part that was more than what Dana had. And they told us that was 88. All right. Then over here, next it says Chase had 53 fewer. So again, this is what is the same. This represents that Zoe had more, which is the difference, which also means that Chase had less, or this is the fewer. So we know from here to here represents the fewer. So it's 53 fewer because Chase didn't have it. So now before, and I need to find Dana, Zoe, and Chase, but before I can do that, I can't even work on this side until I go figure out how many points Zoe had. So if this part is the same, then if this is 233, then this has to be 233. So to figure out Zoe, I'm just going to add the 233 plus 88. So now I know 3 plus 8, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 ones, 1 in the 1. I take a 10, I regroup a 10. 1 10 and 3 tens is 4 tens, plus 8 tens is 12 tens. So I put a 2 for my tens, I regroup 100. 100 plus 200 is 300. That represents Zoe. But that's not what I'm looking for. It's asking me how many points they have all together, so I don't stop. But I know some information now. I know that Dana is 233. I know that Zoe is 321. But I'm not finished because I need Chase. So let's come over here. Well, now we know that all of Zoe is 321. This entire thing right here for Zoe is 321. But we know that Chase had 53 fewer than that. So if we take the 53 off, we can figure out what Chase is. So I'm just going to come over here and say 321 minus 53. I have 1, they want 3. I think to myself, that's going to become 110. And now I have 11 ones. I have 11, they want 3. That's enough to give them. I have 110, they want 5 tens. That's not enough, so I'm going to regroup it and give myself another 10. So now I have 11 minus 3 is 8. 11 minus 5 is 6. And then I have 2 minus 0, which is 2. So that represents Chase. That's not my answer because they asked me how many points do they have all together. So now I know that Chase has 268. And they want to know how many points do they have all together. So now when I'm going to add these 3 pieces of information to figure out their total. But when I do that, I work with only adding 2 numbers at a time. A lot of times we make mistakes when we add more than two numbers at once. So that's 554, but that only represents Dana and Zoe. So now I still need to add to that Chase. So I'm going to come right here, 554 plus 268. And sometimes I'll do this like D, Z to remind me that I'm not done. This was D plus Z, and now this is the C for Chase that I'm going to find everybody. So 4 plus 8 is 12. So 2 in the ones, take a 10. 1 10 plus 5 tens is 6 tens, plus another 6 is 12. 2 in the tens, take 100. 100 plus 500 is 600. 6 plus 200 is 800. So how many points do they have all together? They have 822 points all together, and that's what we're looking for.